Hey everyone, welcome back to Carrots and Olives. My name is Brittany, and today I wanted to go over what's working and how January went. So right now you can see my notebooks. I'm actually holding my camera right now. I hope it's not going to shake too much, but I'm going to steady it. I just wanted a different angle for an intro. This is the first pile. This is the second pile, and then the last item. So I'm going to kind of show you a brief little bit about all of these items and how they are working for me, and how my planning and journaling for 2021 is going thus far. Hey everyone, welcome back to Carrots and Olives. Like I mentioned in the intro, I'm just going to be walking through some of my, what's working for me for 2021 so far and how the first month of 2021 worked out. So really, I'm just going to show you the ones that either I use on a daily basis or the ones that I have been using lately. So everything is pretty much the same, except for there's one more new thing. I have changed around my covers, and you may have caught that on my social media, but these are the ones I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to start with the smallest to largest, and the smallest one is this one. This is in a Chic Sparrow Claire. It is a pocket size with a Leuchtturm like pocket sized notebook. It's not an exact fit, but it does look and feel nice in a Chic Sparrow traveler's notebook. I normally have this with a wallet that I received from Foxy Fix a few years ago. I will pair those two together, but I recently got a new cover, which I'll talk about in just a second. So I recently pulled this out. I've had this set up for quite some time, and it was meant to be used as like a wallet / journal or something like just notebook paper. But at the time when I started it, it was when I was still living in San Antonio, and we don't live there now. So now I revamped it, kind of added some decoration, and I did have some journaling in here at the beginning, and then I decided to do some like scrapbooking and just adding a few things here and there. I did this on Instagram, and now I really just journal and draw. And there's not much going on. It's just not something I grab every single day. But when I need more space to write in my journal, then I will use this. I recently got the Brass Sport Kaweco, and it is everything that everyone talks about. Like, it's the real deal. Like, this pen is actually really nice. It's sturdy. I like the weight, and it writes so well without much pressure from your hand. So it's definitely a star in my fountain pen collection, and I've only had it for about almost 24 hours. It's writing very well. The nib is well tuned on this pen straight out of the box, and I got it from Amazon. So I will put a link to this if you're interested. And yeah, I'm really happy with this purchase of this pen. So that's new. Next are my A6s. And so I have 4. I went kind of berserk this year with A6s. I took a break from A6 for the most part last year and I think the year prior, and now I'm back with 4 A6s, believe it or not. So let's start with this one. This is a Roterfaden cover, and it is the one with the leather and then the felt on the interior. And I pulled this out after I realized, remember I was cleaning out like some of my stuff and I realized that I haven't used this in forever and I literally forgot about it. But if you're unfamiliar with the way that this works, they're like clips. And so you can easily pull your notebook in and out. I feel like it's not as harsh as strings. So you can see here. So I have it clipped in the front and the back. And it's a pretty cool system because if you wanted to, you could clip in a notebook and then clip in papers, you know. These clips are very sturdy. I haven't tried to remove them and I haven't really researched how to remove them or anything, but I do believe I would be able to fit this notebook in this back pocket if I wanted to, but I don't know how it would lay in this notebook itself. But this leather is really nice, really plush, and it is flexible. It's a really different take, especially with like this material on the inside. I want to say felt, but I don't think it is felt actually. It's soft, but it has like texture to it. It's really cool. And they have them in multiple sizes, and then they have quite a few different colors. But this notebook is the original 2020 Hobonichi A6, and I am using it for challenges. So the first few pages aren't being used for anything. If I can find something to use it for, I will. But, you know, it's only February, so I still have time to try to use some of the other months. Maybe there's a challenge for these spaces that I can use them. And if you guys know of anything, let me know. But right now, I am in the process of my February challenge, which you may have seen posts about it. And this challenge is like self-love, and it's about writing or drawing or pretty much anything you want to do. So I've just kind of did whatever felt right for the day. I'm actually a few days behind. I need to catch up. But yeah, it's very simple and easy and quick. Shouldn't take you very long. But that's what this notebook is used for. Next is this guy. This is a Scout from Chic Sparrow I got last week, and this is in the dark brown. I really love this leather, and the fact that it's paired with the creme makes it a lot more pliable. And this is my very first like Maverick leather, and I really like the uniqueness of this piece. So I did a video of this for my Patreons, and I briefly talked about, well, it wasn't really that brief, but I talked about how I was a little bit disappointed because I meant to get the pocket size and ended up getting a pocket plus, which fits more of like the A6 notebook size. So I was able to kind of work it. I worked it a little bit and was able to fit in my take note. I'm still a little concerned because it's really pulling on the spine of my notebook. But so far, what has appealed to me is the fact that I can literally lay this flat. It's like a pancake, and it was something I couldn't ignore, and I was like, this is perfect because I like to keep this laid out in front of me. This is my planner for work, like Patreon and my art in my shop. So I'm writing down a lot of my, let's see, let me go to a page so I can show you just things like this. like a lot of tasks and to-do lists, things I need to remember. I do kind of track, well, I stopped tracking Instagram, but I do track YouTube, and just things that I need to make sure it gets done on a daily basis, since I've set that as a goal for my Patreon rewards. And yeah, and then I use this here for things that are getting done. Sometimes I switch it up and it's good to notate. So this is how I'm using it. I really like this, and I am going to try to get the A5 next year. Then this is the wallet insert I mentioned earlier, the one I got from Foxy Fix, and I love how much this is aged. I did use this as a wallet like full time a couple years ago, and it worked really well. Putting all my cards in here, and then like cash and some coins. But yeah, I really like this. It's not going anywhere, so I try to fit it in here. It does kind of help keep it like feeling full, and I can't wait for this leather to get some more use so that it will be even more flexible. I mean, it's flexible now, and it's pretty like firm in the sense that it holds its structure, so it is going to protect your notebook, but it's not overly, like, I can squish it and I can pull it back a little bit. So I feel like it's a good middle ground if you want something firm and a little bit more on the stiffer side, but something that still can flex somewhat and protect your notebook. So that is that one. Next, I have my Baum-Kuchen cover. Initially, I had the Take a Note planner in here, and it fits in here just as well as an A6 Hobonichi. Now, the A6 and the Take a Note are different sizes. Take a Note is quite a bit thinner than the A6 Hobonichi. Sorry, it's kind of blurry there. So I switched it in and out, and this cover does accommodate both. Even the Take a Note, because it is a thinner notebook, it doesn't seem like it's like there's too much space or anything. It actually fits well. So here I am using this notebook as my journal, and this is a daily journal, so I'm not going to share the pages, but whatever I do write on one day, and if I need more space or something else comes to mind that I want to talk about, where I need to talk to myself and write it down, then that's when this one comes in. So it doesn't happen very often because I am actually really doing a good job of keeping track of like all my daily things that I'm doing. So not only am I journaling in here, but I'm also journaling in my A5. So I feel like I have a lot of space, not just in one planner, but in other planners, to where I am getting my feelings, or I am getting my thoughts onto paper, which is probably why my pocket isn't as full as I would or someone else would expect. But it's just because I have so many other journals that my thoughts are getting written down. So I hope that kind of makes sense. Sorry, my words, I'm talking really quickly, which can be, my words can get jumbled together. But yeah, so this is my journal. And then the last A6 is this guy, which I love this wraparound case, and I love it more so in this size, to be honest. This one I got last year, and it's holding my 5-year techo, and I pretty much just do what everyone does, use it how it was designed for the most part, and that is just writing a script, like just a memory or a couple memories a day of what my kids are doing, what my husband's doing, what I'm doing, and I've been keeping up. So today's the 10th. Nope, today's the 11th. Is it really the 11th? For the most part, I try to stick to this in the evening. And to be honest, at first, When I heard about this 5-year techo, I didn't think it would be for me. But it's so easy, you guys, especially the A6 size. There's only like 7 lines that are like this wide. So it literally takes no time at all to fill this up for the day. And that's one of the things that I love about this and why it just fits with everything else that I am showing you. A lot of these things I've kind of limited myself, and I'm glad I've set myself a planner to journal in so that it's daily, because it's not so open. So it kind of forces me to stay within the lines. And for some reason, it's working. It's working really well. So the last 2 items I'm going to show you are these 2. First up is my Baum-Kuchen, I think I'm saying it wrong, Baum-Kuchen cover. This is the undyed or the natural cover. I have one of those one of the Jibun like inserts. So I put my stickers in here and just like my decorative cards that I sell in my shop. And then my word of the year, the first page I used to track for Instagram. I did write down like things to buy when I can splurge. And another list that for once, I started doing some swatches, sure, Tombow, and then more swatches. My favorite shops. Sometimes I come across like some Japanese stationery shops that aren't US based, and then I want to write them down so I don't forget. And then I'm gonna start like some of my favorite Instagram accounts, and then we get into my monthly. I got this towards the end of December, so I didn't get to really use it and test it out to see how I wanted to use it moving forward. So it's still a work in process. January. But one thing that I am doing is making sure I am just using one pen color, and that's black. And that's rare. I don't do that very often. So my weeklies started the last week of December into January, and I stuck with that, the black pen, and then using my clear stickers. And I really like how they look so far. So what I'm doing is using the top portion here as like my main to-do list or like appointments that are need to be scheduled or are scheduled and I'm gonna have for the day. I do like to circle the weather, and then the next section I use them as lists for things that I want to get done. And then throughout the day, I'm writing down things that are happening. If something is supposed to get done at a certain time frame, I don't always use the time frame. So this is just kind of from the 6 o'clock hour into the last hour of the day is really as things are happening. I also like to use this column for lists, most particularly my grocery list, because I do end up taking this with me. It's more portable than my A5, and it's the only place where my grocery list kind of fit right now. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. All like other details and things like that, notes I need to jot down will go like in the back. So that's how I'm using this one. And then last but not least is my A5, and that's mainly family and my son's school. So I need to keep this board with me like at all times. It's connected to me. I have my first section of habit trackers that I'm using, and then my monthlies, which is really plain. I have tried to reserve like all the extra stickers and things for the back half of the planner, which are my dailies. And I've gone kind of wild there. I need to check myself. I haven't done it yet, but I'm like in this scrapbooking type of mode. So I'm grabbing pieces of this and that and trying to make it look more interesting, make it more fun. And so I find myself adding too much bulk so far in my notebook. You can kind of see those pages that are crinkled. Yeah, it shouldn't be like that already, and really in month 2. So I'm a little bit nervous about how this book is going to look at the end of the day, but fingers crossed it will work out. Okay, so I'm only going to show you my weeklies because I keep my dailies for Patreon. But weeklies, I've talked about this a couple times already on my channel, but I will just give you an example of how I'm kind of setting it up. I try not to use too many stickers. Again, trying to save myself till the end of the year. Save the spine. But each week I kind of have like a theme going on with color coding. It's not super planned out or anything, but it works. And then I'm using this clip, which is like the Midori metal clip. It's very lightweight. There's literally 2 pieces of Tomoe River paper connected, and it sits just fine. But yeah, and so that's how I'm using it. I tend to go a day or 2 before I, like, if I do not catch up with my daily journaling on my notebook, then I try not to let more than a couple days pass so that I can remember everything. But then I also have my Baum-Kuchen planner that kind of keeps me on track too and jogs my memory. So my kids are yelling. So yeah, so I hope you guys found this video helpful. Everything is working magnificently on the planner and journaling side, surprisingly. Like I'm so proud of myself for not getting too far behind, and I know that in the future 2021 will be the year that I can, or at least so far be the year that I can really count on my system and, you know, looking back on it. Some of the other years are a little bit shaky because I just kept switching from one thing to another and nothing was really consistent. But I feel confident that this system so far is going to be consistent and hopefully have a handful of books that say 2021 on it. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, if you have any questions, please post a comment down below. If you're new to my channel, consider subscribing. And if you want to see some of my artwork and a little bit more of what I put in these notebooks, then consider joining my Patreon. I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!